some reflections on the subject of loyalty. Now, loyalty is definitely one of the most impacting elements to someone's life, considering that the people whom you have loyalty to are likely to have an influence upon you. They are likely to affect your life. Their decision making is likely to affect you, and their activities and relationships could impinge on your own activity as well. But do we question the basis of our loyalty though? We have family who may be demanding more loyalty from us in our social circle, in our workplace, in our political life, if we have one. We all do actually have a political life, but that's another subject. But in every aspect of life there are demands on your loyalty. Now, loyalty is without doubt one of the most important dimensions to a person's social life. In fact, not just their social life, but every aspect of interaction with other people on a prolonged basis. When I say social, I mean in terms of people who you choose in your social sphere. And so when I say more than social, I mean your interactions. Okay, so there is your political life, your work life, or your economic life, and a whole range of other spheres where you come into contact with people. But loyalty is demanded almost all the time when you're sharing a project or some type of continuous relationship with someone. But do we really question and assess the basis of loyalty that we're having towards any particular person or group of people? And this is the issue, because a lot of people are annoyed when they consider that someone in their environment is not showing loyalty to the group which they assume that they belong to. But are they showing the same scrutiny? Are they showing the same agitation concerning the principles upon which that loyalty is based? For instance, some people think that you should have loyalty to others just because you live in the same environment as them. A lot of people think this globally. That if you live somewhere, your loyalty should be with those whom you reside amongst. But a human being always consists of his beliefs, his objectives, his criteria for action, which surely goes beyond just acting in accordance with the environment in which he lives. If everyone was to just have loyalty on the basis upon where they are living, then that would mean the social, the political, the spiritual, the economic conditions of those places might never change, because everyone is just looking to conform with things, even if they don't actually agree with them, even if they think those pillars upon which that society are based are heavily erroneous or corrupted or oppressive or whatever. And so you will have an environment of people that demand loyalty for those residing amongst themselves, and they ask for that loyalty solely because they are residing with them, because they live with them, they live in that environment. And yet they will be demanding that people living in other locations break loyalty to those whom they are living amongst. So it's a hypocrisy and a contradiction, and it shows that they admit
that blindly following the dominant political culture of your place of residence or birth is not necessarily the correct thing to do. So don't get into a spin by following the spin.
Now, with regards to loyalty, there's a great problem when someone claims to be loyal. They say, I am with you, I'm with your cause, I see things the way you do, I stand with you with what you stand upon. And then they act in a way which is totally in contradiction to their claim. Someone is, walking with you, and then you can see they're clearly walking against you, or they are preparing the way for you to trip up. When this happens, then it leaves quite a bitter taste in the mouth. It leaves you quite depressed. We have an agreement to do something, and then that means, okay, I'm trusting that you will fulfill it then. I'm trusting that you will make an effort, even if you're neglecting efforts. Even if you're neglecting efforts, you still have an intention to do what you said you were going to do. And when you don't do it, then we have to question, okay, were you lying in the first place? Were you entering into an agreement with me on a false premise or upon a lie in order to fulfill agreements that you have with other people? You know, there are some people, they make multiple agreements which are in contradiction to each other. They say, I'm loyal to you, I'm loyal to you, I'm loyal to you, and yet all of these people are in conflict with one another and they have totally different views. You can't be loyal to all of them then. So people need to know what they really believe in. People need to know what is their aim, what are your objectives, what is your criteria for action, and then you base your loyalty upon that. And then when you do that, you can walk with those whom you are really in agreement with and heading in the same direction. Everything will make sense. It doesn't make sense to start making agreements which are against your very nature, which are against your against the pattern of life that you have chosen to follow. So people are suffering from disloyalty everywhere, and people are suffering from broken agreements everywhere. You think someone's with you, then you find out they are against you. Or you think someone's with you and they're going to stand with you, and then they don't stand with you. Some difficulty arises, and then you can see the strength of loyalty, or you can see the strength or weakness of the foundations upon which that loyalty is supposed to be based. So what I would say is that people need to, instead of diving into relationships with individuals, groups and other things, and instead of paying much attention to the end results and the details, the finer details, people need to pay attention to the nature and direction of their relations. They need to pay attention to how are my beliefs as an individual manifested in the relationships which I'm establishing with other people, because everything is breaking down because people have a confused identity, they have confused direction, they have confused beliefs, they have confused objectives. So when these things are ironed out, then you can have a genuine based loyalty, seeing eye to eye with people, and you can have a genuine you can have some more reliable results, and you can have more tranquility in this in the continual interactions that your loyalty demands. One issue to be considered with regards to loyalty is that concerning important matters, vital issues of, let's say, life and death, or potentially great loss for someone, people are reluctant to give their loyalty because so few people today seem to be trustworthy. Most people don't seem to be able to keep a secret. Most people don't seem to be reliable. And so because of this, people are very worried about giving their loyalty or their agreement or their participation in something where the people involved are not, 100% trusted. And, you can be involved with someone for years and not really know who they are and not know what they're really doing behind your back, not knowing what their real thoughts are, what their real motives are, even if you think these things have been manifest to you up until that point. So you should realize that if you find someone who is loyal today, you've found something that is very precious and rare. If you find someone who is reliable, trustworthy, they stick to their agreements, they keep the trusts that they've been entrusted with, they say what they mean and they mean what they say, then you have something that most people don't find many of, or possibly none of. So you really should treat those of loyalty with respect and care, and understand that when they are no longer there, if they happen to depart from you for any number of reasons, then you may have suffered an irreplaceable loss, which is like having part of you cut out, or having part of your foundations removed, or part of a necessary structure suddenly fall in on you. So loyalty is not something to be undervalued. It's something that has to be treasured, because the world is really in a mess because there are so many disloyal people, or they misplace their loyalty and those unworthy of it upon those unworthy of it, or they do not even consider what should be the correct grounds of loyalty in the first place. So even if they're loyal to something that's a totally wrong idea and something not worthy of pursuing. As for being more specific about my allegiance or my loyalty, then I'm definitely not with them, and I'm certainly not with them. And as for some of you who may think that I'm with the others, then what I can say about the others is that most of them are not who they claim to be. So I'm not with those either. In fact, I like to be far away from them. There are those who you have been with for 4, 5, 6 years, and all that time you thought that you were playing for the same team. And what you find is that they have been playing for the opposition all along, or that they've been adopting actions which serve the opposition, so that in due time they are full paid up members of the opposing team. So you never really know for sure who's on your side and who isn't. So look to your right and look to your left, and be aware that not everyone dressed in your colours is on the same page. Look to your right and look to your left, and just because someone's wearing your colours, it doesn't mean that they want you to take home the title at the end of the day. So we look out to the hills and we see a lot of scared rabbits running away. Next time someone demands loyalty, the question needs to be asked: are you loyal yourself? Who are you loyal to, and why? What is loyalty at the end of the day? Are you going to stand when everyone else is sitting down? Are you going to walk forward when everyone else is walking backwards? Are you going to look and see the reality rather than see what you are being told to see? Are you only going to hear what's easy to hear? This is the question. Very easy to adopt the clothes of something, to adopt the name of something, but to adopt the essence of something and the foundations, and to remain upon its objectives, is something totally different. Something totally different. People can say anything, but to do and to remain firm when the fish are swimming away is something else.
Some people have unmasked themselves to reveal their treacherous nature. Whoever breaks their covenant with those who are soon to stand up, then know that you will be replaced by those who are not like you. People with dignity, integrity, and vision. Then you will come to regret foolish rebellion and idiotic disloyalty.